I'm going to do a real brief tutorial of Excel here. I have some data. The way to start functions in Excel, pick the cell that you want the result to show up in, and every function will start with an equal sign. And then a lot of times just type what you're looking for and a list shows up. For example, if I want to do the average, I start typing average and I see it right here. Average is an option. So if I type out average, I spelled it wrong, average, that's a function. We always input the actual numbers we're going to use. We start parentheses and the actual numbers are going to go in this parentheses, and it tries to tell you what you need here, and it looks just like a list of numbers for us to average. And so you can just highlight and select the cells you want to average and then close out your parentheses, and there's the average of the X values. If I want to do the average of the Y values, I would do the same thing, average amount. If you want to, let's say, do the correlation coefficient, you would, again, equal sign, and then I'm going to start typing correlation, see what's come up. Correl returns the correlation coefficient between two data sets. That's what I wanted. So Correl, and then it looks like here I need an array, a comma, and then another array. So an array is just a list of data. So I want the correlation between the X values, comma, and then the Y values. How are they correlated? And then close parentheses. When I hit enter, the result pops up. Standard deviation. So standard, looks like I have stdev. That looks like standard deviation to me. So I'll pick standard deviation, estimate standard deviation based on a sample. So .s is for the sample, .p is the entire population. Most of the time we use sample, and so .s is what I'm going to use. So standard deviation .s, open parentheses, and it looks like just a list of numbers is what it's asking for. I select the numbers, standard deviation of the X values, close parentheses. I could do the standard deviation of the Y values, equals standard deviation .s of the Y values. If you don't know, if the problem's asking for a result and you don't know what function to use, you can try Googling it. Like type in how to do correlation coefficient in Excel, and it would have told you to use the Correl function that I showed right here. Or how to do the standard deviation in Excel, it would have told you to use this function. You can also email me and ask. I'll be happy to make a video, or if it's easy to explain in email, I'll let you know. But another thing you can do in Excel is quickly do a repeated calculation. So if I want all these X values minus the mean, I could do equals. Again, anytime you do a calculation, start with equals. So A2, I'm going to reference A2, that cell, and it highlights to show you where you're referencing. Minus, our mean was 16.8, so minus 16.8. So it did that value minus 16.8. If I grab that corner, see how it's a little plus sign, and drag it down, it copies that formula down. But each time here it's doing a 3 minus 16.8. Here it's doing a 4 minus 16.8. Here it's doing a 5, and so on. So grabbing the corner will copy the same function but adjust it so it went from A2 to A3 to A4, so you don't have to type it over and over. So I won't show you too much more because I don't know exactly what problems you're working on or what you have questions. I do want to show you inserting a scatter diagram. You can quickly see you have two data sets, what the scatter diagram would look like. And from our correlation coefficient, it's close to 1 and positive, so we should expect it to trend upwards and be close to in a straight line, which was what we have here. So you can get the scatter diagram, see what it looks like. If you right-click on one of those points, you can add the trend line right in, and it'll draw the best fit line. My version over to the right has the option to display the equation right there on the chart. So if you're looking for the equation of that best fit line, Excel will output that for you as well. So there's a few formulas I've gone through. Let me know what other questions you run into, what formulas you need to use, what problems you're struggling with. I'll be happy to help out more.